in the middle of it, I had one thing I said, man. I said, but at least Marvel has Spider-Man back through all of it, through all of that, and now we ain't even got that no more. Sony done snapped this fool up, man. Sony done killed Marvel brought him back and Sony killed him again, man.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go, sir. Please. Please, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
We might not have Spider-Man, but we still have those shirts at dtmerch.com. We still
Damn,
man, that's it. You know what? We still got that classic Black Tuesday white logo. So Sony just snapped Spider-Man away from Marvel or Disney, depending on how you're looking at it. And it feels bad too, man. It feels so bad because Spider-Man don't even want to go. The boy just begging.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go, sir. Please. Please, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Don't let Sony take me back. I want to be in that shitty Venom movie. Please make it don't take me.
I don't want to do the jazz hands, Mr. Stark. Not the jazz hands.
Y'all know what I'm talking about today. People were texting me all day long like a real person just died. Like I said, my mama called me today. You Spider-Man just died. I was like,
Yes, Mom.
yes, Mama.
I did.
My mama's upset. That boy never hurt nobody.
He was one of the good ones.
He didn't do nothing but good for everybody, man. He was hanging with that panther. I did upset my mama. And when you upset my mama, then it's personal. Now you're upsetting me. And I had to bring this man up here to console me, man. He called me today, sounded just like you. You hear this shit?
I was very upset.
I had to pull the phone away, man. You hear this shit? TJ, what you want?
Still my best impression.
And seriously, this is probably one of the days I've had the most text from people, the most emails, people talking about, you hear about Spider-Man. They pulling that boy away from Marvel, man, and Sony taking him back. Deadline was the first one to actually break the news. This is from earlier today. Disney Sony standoff ends Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige's involvement in Spider-Man. So what that means is that Kevin Feige, the mastermind, the god of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, will not have a hand anymore, if we go by what we see
Yes.
in this article, with creatively controlling this character, putting his influence on all, let's not bullshit ourselves, all the great things that came out of these Spider-Man movies.
What made those films work so well?
Yeah.
For the last 3.5 years.
What made those movies work so well? There's a lot of things going on, and really a movie should be the last thing that I'm worried about. There's so many things that are happening.
Yeah.
But I am upset about this, man. I really am. I mean, I don't know. I'll be fine tomorrow. No, I won't. What the fuck am I talking about? I don't even lie to myself. But, the thing that gets me with this, from the moment it happened, and y'all could probably even find video of me saying this, I said I'm not fully 100% comfortable with this, because as long as Sony has even a small part of the ownership of this character, and they have a large percentage of ownership on this character, I said as long as Sony's involved with this franchise here, they are always going to have leverage over Disney. And the reason why that upsets me is because, it's not entitlement that I'm feeling here, or anybody else, I think.
No.
It's that there's, this was made in good faith to the fans out there, pretty much your customers. And now, because of some squandering, I realize it's business. I do. I understand that it's business. I don't let me be so naive here or be such a fan that I don't see that as business. What happened here is that, let me to give some context. I just think that the ones that are going to get hurt are just like with a divorce. The ones that really get hurt are the children. The fans here. Your fans are your customers. Your fans are the ones. There's no entitlement here. They're the ones that made this property what it is. And now, all that goodwill and good faith and all that investment, emotional and otherwise, has been put into these movies. It feels like that's going to be taken away. Now, you guys please chime in at some point, but just give a real quick. I'll need your input on this. But Disney has only had 5%
Yeah, the 5% of the first weekend gross of every standalone Spider-Man film.
And
they have the merchandise.
Yeah,
And the merchandising.
And the merchandising, which is how this whole thing got started in the first place, is that when Marvel was about to go bankrupt way before Disney had them.
In the 90s, yeah.
Yeah, in the 90s, they were selling off their characters, including Spider-Man. I don't know, that's some desperation for your ass to the point of stupidity. But they thought, we're going to do the George Lucas thing and just get all the marketing and the toys and all that kind of stuff for it. Which, I guess it paid off for them a little bit, but now we see the situation that we're in now. And so Disney, and I like to get people's opinions on this because I know we've been talking about this before, TJ. Disney's asking for a 50-50 split at this point, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
And, some people, they might have opinions on whether who's right or wrong here. Maybe Sony's doing what they should do, from a business angle. Maybe Disney's being greedy. Or maybe, vice versa. My opinion is that Disney has put in the creative heavy lifting and work here. Every good thing that we've got from this, Sony didn't do this shit.
Hell no.
Sony didn't do anything creative. They f***ed up Spider-Man how many times?
Twice.
2 good times.
Yeah.
Technically 6 times.
Let's just go for 10. Let's round it up. They didn't have anything creatively. They had nothing to do with the position that they put Spider-Man in with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it was all Kevin Feige's. I'm sure his careful control over the creative side of this, his input as being a producer, and so since they've done that and turned it into what it is, it seems to me that's fair. That's kind of they're mutually beneficial to each other.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of on the same side. It's like, look, I mean, we always knew they're going to readdress this deal after Tom Holland's contract was kind of nearing towards its end and towards this whole thing. Ever since Civil War,
Yeah.
this is going to come to a head. But the fact that they would renegotiate made sense. And look, as you said, Corey, the creative side has been all Disney. Sony's just been they're renting him out basically, and the reason why we had so much success of the Spider-Man brand recently has because of Marvel proper. And look, if Disney's doing that heavy lifting, then I think they should be entitled to more money with that. And the other frustrating thing about this whole thing is just that we finally have this Spider-Man entrenched in this MCU, embedded in it, and just kind of exists with it. And now you're going to strip all of that away, and what are you going to be left with? That's the big concerning thing with me. I mean, how you guys are feeling about this?
Yeah, I mean, from the business angle of things, I'm actually a little more reserved in terms of throwing it all into Sony. I think strategically Disney had a better play going for kind of eating at that percentage as time went on. That just makes more sense from going, because you're asking for a 10 times increase for a complete co-creativity and things of that nature. And we know on the back end, Disney's been taking care of the heavy lifting, of course. But any business, if you jump times 10, it's a culture shock. It's not something that you can quickly decide. And I think that maybe eating away, starting with 20, and kind of building that up, which at the renegotiation tables, Disney was the one who was declining. I think that they probably had a better play. Now, do I think they're entitled to the 50%? Hell yeah, I do. But from an actual business perspective, there's much more other ways and strategies that they probably could have gone about it. Now, from the creative angle of things, nigga, this is dumb. This is actually this is some of the most idiotic shit I've heard. Yes. I'm actually hurt because look, we've built our time on manifesting these relationships. The Iron Spider suit has something behind it. His relationship with Happy was priority of the last movie. It was
great.
You're just going to rip aside all those little things that made this character great, and how are you going to recover when you have, turd in the wind on your left side?
Yeah. I'm gonna give it to Billy, but let me tell you what they did here, because maybe I'm a little cynical right now. But let me tell you, because I don't want to sound, again, I don't want to sound too cynical. I don't want to sound like I'm some conspiracy guy either. But I'll leave it. I'll give you this. I think it's almost, I give you from a business end some respect, because I think that this is almost from a business angle a brilliant move. But let me tell you what I think Sony did, because they knew going into this shit from the very beginning how this was going to end up, where we are right now. That last Spider-Man movie set up so many high stakes.
This is Mr. Beck.
We could have used someone like you on my world.
Your world?
Beck is from Earth, just not ours.
The snap tore a hole in our dimension.
You know, all that setup that they did with just that character alone, and some of the things, just
Mysterio, you mean?
Mysterio, and some of the things that he contributed to what would eventually lead to bigger events in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Sony kind of played the long con with that.
I agree with that. Before you
Hell
do
yeah.
it, I'm saying like that's exactly what I was going to say.
That's
Go ahead.
exactly what they did. They let Disney do all the work. They let them make these great films. And they knew that Disney, after they got to this point where they set so many roots down and there would be so many ripple effects from what they did just with Spider-Man alone, that they would come in and negotiate. And Sony, and I almost believe that Sony sat there at the table. And when they came in under the terms of negotiating, Disney put their shit down. Sony said, let me talk to my partner real quick. They went to another room, and they went in there and laughed their ass off. 50%! F you, Mickey! F off! We got Spider-Man. The boy is ours.
Right.
Ain't nobody.
Don't go back in there too quickly. Because act like we're talking and stuff. Act like it's a hard decision.
They said, bitch, we got Spider-Man. What do you got?
Right.
Iron Man? He's dead. You ain't got shit.
Captain America old.
Captain America old? What you got? A fake ass black Captain America? I mean, we do not accept the terms, and we'll be taking the boy with us. You know, this is. They knew that they were going to go to the table and negotiate. And they knew that they would be that once it was a situation of once Marvel actually or Disney went in and set up all these things in their own universe. It was a matter of Sony saying, you know what, at this point, you need us more than we need you. Once that character becomes popular, bankable again, then they take him and they want to use him for their own universe. The one that they've been trying to set up this whole time. The whole plan when they had Venom, they said, how can we get Spider-Man? Dude just got the news.
That's Spider-Man right now.
They said
That was actually Joss Whedon. Looks like
they said that, you know what? Because they heard people saying, well, shit, who wants to see a Venom movie without Spider-Man? Turns out a lot more people than we thought. But then they did say, like, but yeah, we hear you. Shit, we didn't want to see a Venom movie without Spider-Man. That's why we taking that
right.
bitch. You know?
And guess what? You ain't gonna see it no more.
They already made plans for other characters. Morbius, the living vampire. They made plans with that when they got Jared Leto to play him. You know, they got this Black Widow,
Black and Silver, Black Cat and Silver Sable.
I'm sorry, Black Cat and Silver.
Sable.
Silver Sable. Yeah, you know they have plans. They're still trying to do a Sinister Six.
Kraven the Hunter.
Spinoff,
standalone
Yeah, I
film.
heard something about the Kraven one too.
That's why I told people, they were talking about, man, it would be great if Craven was the next villain in the Marvel Spider-Man.
Yes.
Like, don't get your.
That's what I want.
Looking like a
They
porn
set it
star.
up. They set it up.
You look like a nasty ass porn star there. Dick on air.
They saying, you know, the next big villain could possibly be a Spider-Man villain, but like on like a Thanos level. They talking about maybe Norman Osborn. You know, the Green Goblin's going to be the next big bad villain, a corporate villain this time.
Yeah, like Lex Luthor type.
Yeah, Lex Luthor type in the big Marvel universe. Well, you know, if that's what you wanted, you ain't getting it now, possibly. And there's some other things I can mention here. Billy, let me see what you think about this.
You basically said everything I think I was gonna say, especially with the long con thing. I mean, they knew they weren't gonna get that shit up, and I mean, Disney has a knack for taking over shit after a while. I think they were worried about that. But I mean, other than that, you pretty much took all the words out of my mouth.
The only thing that gives me hope is that this is way too tricky for them. This is a mess if they pull Spider-Man out, and it's a mess for Marvel. All those things that were done in the Marvel universe, all those cool things that they've done with Spider-Man, that forget the Spider-Man movies, things that were done in some of their bigger films like Civil War.
All right, I've run out of patience. On to ruse!
Remember how much you cheered for that? Fuck you.
Yep,
We can't mention it no more.
It never happened.
It never happened. Oh, maybe they'll do some multiverse thing where Spider-Man, what's a Spider-Man? You know what they'll say?
They'll call him Night Monkey from Far From Home.
Remember
that Night Monkey kid? He was hilarious. Love that guy.
Not talking about.
Yeah, who that, huh? It's not done. No. This is too stupid of a deal for either one of them. I don't care who's right or wrong anymore. I'm tired of fighting. Because right now, really what's happening here is like, if Sony decides to walk away with Spider-Man, that's gonna leave Disney and Marvel sitting up there looking like a divorced parent who ain't got custody no more. Yeah, and ain't got no weekend visitations either. Nope. Because like I said, Sony, get your money, man. If Disney was willing to take that risk, and y'all knew and everybody knew the whole time that this was something that could have got this sticky, then fine. Because it's too late to back up now. I think they have to reach a deal.
You're all right.
I don't know what's happening.
That's one of the most heartbreaking, emotional moments in not just the Infinity War movie, but in this whole series. All that stuff that they did with Tony Stark, all that forget all the fun stuff, the funny stuff, all the emotional building that they did between Tony Stark and Peter Parker. I know Tony Stark is dead. Spoiler. Somebody's like, what?
That one person didn't see the movie.
Yeah,
right, exactly. But 3 times.
Yeah. But that has a lasting impression on that character that took years to build. If y'all saw the end of Far From Home, you know how big this situation is.
Yep, and I think that for me, my processing of it is 2 things really. I think that because of the timing in the Marvel MCU, this gives Marvel way more time. Because this is really a rebuilding period where they're highlighting their newer characters, and that gives time for Sony to f around and f things up. Yeah. And then on the flip side,
great.
They really
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
They are prioritizing trying to build up those new names, and the powers in the MCU. Because while Sony has all the power, in terms of the actual money and processing and things like that, because of the way that the MCU's positioned Spider-Man recently, where you got Tony Stark knocked out, Captain America knocked out, Captain Marvel's not really popular, and Black Panther, he's got the Negroes. So, but everybody else, I'm kidding. Shut up.
I like Black Panther too.
Chris is like, he has me.
I like him.
What a ringing endorsement. Like, Captain America's knocked out. Iron Man's knocked out. Black Panther's black. Also, Captain Marvel's not popular. I'm like, God damn. And I was all like, yes. I was all excited about it.
I guess I can't like him then.
God damn.
No, really,
I guess nobody can.
But in terms of actually leading, in terms of being able to draw in the most amount of audience,
yes, sure.
That's what Spider-Man's position in the MCU has been. And really, that last movie left it off like, wow, there's a lot of ways that this can go. And he's already too deep. It's too messy. Yeah. Like you're saying, there's way too many timelines, things. There's just no way to easily pull this out. And I think that Sony will have to identify that.
He's too entrenched. And like I said, he's too entrenched in the universe already. He has too many personal connections, relationship with so many characters. If you do another film and you ignore everything they do with Happy Hogan, his arc with Tony, his other friends and everyone else referencing things throughout the universe, the Thanos snap, which played such a, Spider-Man Far From Home was all about fallout. That's why the movie was so exciting. So how are they going to deal with this? And you had a villain capitalizing on the biggest event ever in the history of these films. And now it's all going to go away?
There's no way to easily break that. I think that honestly, if Sony's smart, they're going to spin this whole boycott Sony. I'm like, hey guys, look at us. We're the good guys. We reached an agreement. Come check out our movies. And really, this can be leveraged onto how they're going to promote and really expand their own their own SPU or whatever, the Spider-Man universe.
They call it the Sonyverse or Sony Spider-Verse.
They don't even get that.
They don't even get that. Whatever. They can expand their little Spider-Universe, use this as hey, but we're still the good guys. Spider-Man's still off doing his thing with the MCU. And they're going to have to reach an agreement. It's just illogical for either party to not come to the table on actually something.
And I want to tell you something, man. Seriously. I didn't like the movie, but it's not about me. A lot of people like Venom. People like Venom, then fine. But I think really not. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but I don't think anybody really wants to see Spider-Man. They got lucky, without having Spider-Man. They hit somehow. This worked. They hit it. Fine. You did it, and you make it another one. You got probably a better director this time. Andy Serkis is directing the next one. True. So you're in a good spot, man. You don't need Spider-Man in this shit. Y'all were going down 2 good paths. You were fine. You were completely fine. I just spin y'all. I'm sorry. You were fine. These paths don't ever have to come back and converge. They don't have to cross. Keep doing your thing. Everybody's happy. The fans are happy. Spider-Man's happy. Venom's happy. Everybody's doing their thing. You don't have to do this, man. And as I said,
They're like, that.
the hell we don't.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Shut your ass up.
I'm out the window. You don't have to do this. Who's that guy?
Release the hound.
Call security. Yeah. You don't have to do this. Let me go.
We got some of your friends too.
Put him with the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm out there with a jam box in your eyes.
Not again.
I'll be back tomorrow. Work out something with the money, but keep going along the creative paths you were going, and that'll be fine. And like I say, somebody's going, as whether you like it or not, Sony, whether you like Venom or not, Sony has the upper hand here, and that's just how it is. Marvel, it's funny, that mouse got so much power, and that little Sony just still biting his heels. Still
That's in there. That's the one I can't crush.
Yeah. It's like an elephant like screaming from a mouse. Everybody, Disney conquering everybody. And that little punk ass Sony is the one that still got something over y'all, man. I'm telling y'all, man, if you got to budge a little bit, budge a little bit. That's fine. Or Disney, you know what? Just finally fucking buy the studio. Buy Sony and assassinate the people who are making trouble. Shit. All Mickey got to do is make a call to North Korea.
Yeah, just hack them.
Hack them.
Embarrass them.
Hack them again.
We'll pick it up like, hey, oh, it's you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, we got you. Don't worry.
Pull Operation Hacky Sack on their ass, and I bet you
Kim Jong-un's a big fan of the MCU. He doesn't want this to happen.
I guarantee you, they get hacked again, they'll shut the fuck up. I don't know what's going to happen. The TJ said they're going to start having drive-bys at these studios.
TV rep.
Mickey out there. Hey, Barmaid, bitch!
I killed Biggie, too! One of the biggest things kind of going up was the clarity for the common fan on how the studios interact with each other, who has what rights, things of that nature. And I think that whenever you went into Venom and you're like, even the common fan will be like, okay, where the Spider-Man?
Right.
Where's this happening? And once that's been like proven, and then you have this trending in the news, I think it's more providing clarity of like, well, shit, if Spider-Man was all good and buddy with these guys, what the hell am I going to do with this? And so really providing that clarity as it's going forward is going to pull away from some of these other whack-ass Spider-Verse movie bullshit.
Nobody's
Sony
asking
thing.
for these
Let
things.
me go on.
Thingy, spider, freaking
Spider-Verse.
Like you're simply saying.
Sony can take back Spider-Man. Maybe it'd be a better deal for them in the long run. I actually agree with you with that. But creatively, I just don't know what they're going to do. Like, they're just going to... I just...
Get up, like you said
no,
before.
they're going to up, but it's just how can they go on from the last movie, everything that they built up and set up? You can't
stop in mid story
unless you just say we're going to tell a prequel or something. People are like, wait, I wanted that thing that you had set up, like you were building towards this.
People
kind of
are
thing.
very excited for
Big
this.
case of blue balls there.
Yeah, we're probably not going to see certain Spider-Man characters ever in a Spider-Man film, at least not for the time being. Like Venom, but I'm not even a big fan of Venom. But if they were going to ever do a proper version of the character, like we're probably never going to see that in like an MCU film.
But
and with the announcement of something like Morbius, never see that character. Yeah, he has like all these interactions with Blade in the comics are really fun. Never going to see that. If this Kraven the Hunter spin-off film happens, then we're never, which no one wants. We're never going to see him hunt Spider-Man, which makes so much sense by the time of the events of the end of Far From Home, that he's on the run, so who do you get to hunt him? Kraven.
If Sony was just smart, they'd stop all this universe bullshit. Like,
yeah.
Hey, Marvel, take this. We'll take the money.
Yeah,
not
go
have
ahead.
to do anything.
I mean, of course, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if really the dream would be if Sony just said, listen, why do we have to do any work when we got you guys? Let's just go ahead and get this symbiotic relationship where Y'all do the heavy lifting,
No pun intended.
and we make the money.
Sorry, I couldn't.
No, it was not. I'm not even nerdy enough to do that. Or am I? But nah, man, it would be like you guys take all the characters. We still own them. We make money.
Yeah.
You'll do them right. So just and
That's what's so harmful about this, hurtful, because like you said rather, that Spider-Man's got one of the most awesome rogues galleries ever. I mean, it's like, besides Batman. I mean, that's a whole different thing, but you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
Jesus.
And Marvel certainly. Yeah.
Right.
it does more harm to both studios if they don't work this out. Sure. And I don't think that they're going to walk away from this with Sony, carrying Spider-Man and Marvel or Disney's left empty-handed. It don't make any sense.
It's not.
Nope.
So let's close this with a Negro spiritual. We're going free one day.
I'll just sit
I
here.
can't comment that
awkwardly.
Black Panther.
You don't want to get some of this Negro spiritual right here?
I don't.
Come on, Chris.
Can I? Can I? It's okay.
No, we're giving you a free pass.
Oh, okay.
It depends on how you sing it.
Yeah. We gonna get Spider-Man to the promised land. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. He's like, I don't.
Yeah. What's this rhythm
What do I
thing?
do with these hands? He turned to a seal.
In all fairness, he was clapping on downbeat, so we can't put him. So he really was. We just, if you notice, you were doing it, but we jumped on because that's the easiest target.
Yeah. It's like trying to run after a car until it goes away, goes too fast. Stop. Shit. What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. Support us at dtmerch.com. And remember to always stay toasty.